Now we're going to talk about the letter I today. So I know I've talked about this before, but I is a vowel, and you know how vowels are in English. They typically have more than one sound, and in this case, for the letter I, we have at least three. So the first one is kind of two sounds in one. It's I. So like in kite, right, might, sight, and night. This next one is the sound. So in words like bill, mill, till, tin, minute. And this last one makes the sound like in machine, machine. So just like most other letters that we've talked about, there are a number of letter combinations that we do need to talk about. However, for the letter I, there is a significant amount. So please pay attention. The first one we have here is IAN or Ian. Be careful though, because this one actually can have two pronunciations. I've noticed that whenever there's an R in front of it, it's pronounced Ian, like egalitarian or libertarian. However, in a word that has a C right before it, it would be pronounced Ian. So like electrician. Okay, IB. So in this case, it's pronounced IB. So we've got bib and nibble. Here we have, we've just added an E at the end, so now that's actually changed the sound of the I to make it into an I sound, so it's IB, such as in describe. We see something similar with IC, so we have ick in fantastic and plastic. But this time it doesn't actually change the I sound, it pronounces the C sound. So now it's ice, ICE. It's not ick, but ice, such as in ice, lice, and mice. I and E. So whenever you see I and E together, they're pronounced separately, like in diet. All right, so ID. So we're going to start to see a trend here where you have the letter I and then another letter, and then you add E at the end, and it's going to start making a different sound with the letter I. So for example, ID, this makes the id sound, such as in lid or in sid. So now we're going to add an E at the end, and now that's going to be pronounced I'd. Instead of id, it's now I'd. So we have side and glide. Okay, we have IKE, and that makes the Ike sound. So remember, it has an E at the end, so most likely it's going to go I. So like Mike and Pike. IN, this one is always in. So min, tin, and fin. But this one is eind. So we've got find, mind, and grind. INE makes the same I sound, but it's ein, so mine, fine, and line. So this one for IM, it's the same thing with IN. It makes the first I sound, so we have im in Jim, dim, and slim. Or when we add the E at the end, like in IME, it turns into I'm. So in dime, lime, and slime. IO, those two are pronounced separately, so it's bio. ION, the I and the O are separated here as well, so an ion, zion, and lion. Ism. So ISM, when using this suffix, it can sometimes sound like is. It's like there's a U in there somewhere, so at least that's what it sounds like in American English. For example, organism, capitalism, and communism. So here's another one of those situations where you have the I sound that goes it. So bit, sit, fit, and slit. But when we add another letter, such as the letter E, it makes the sound ite. So I've got might, sight, and bite. ITY, this is pronounced itty, so popularity and clarity. IU, these are pronounced separately. The I and the U is pronounced separately, such as in triumphant or triumph. IUM, same thing, like in aquarium. alluvium and equilibrium. Two different sounds. The I and the U is pronounced separately. So this is the last one, and IX, so it's pronounced ix, such as in suffix, affix, prefix, and fix.